guys, welcome to another awesome Blender tutorial. We're starting off a whole new series, and I'm basing this one, I'm basically using your objects to the shape to place the material. Alright, so let's get cracking right into it. So over here I've got three different objects. I've got this and what's called an icosphere. Alright, if you want to know more about how I got this shape over here, pretty cool. Just hit me a message in the comments below, and I will do a special tutorial on just that shape over there. I've got this cube over here, and I've got the monkey, which they call Susan or Suzanne. So what I'd like to show you guys today is how to basically get a cool ambient using a node basically called ambient occlusion, right? If I can find it, it is here. Believe me, it's here. When we get there, then we'll find it. And what you can use this object is, well, I think you can fake like an ambient occlusion. It's not depending obviously with your light, but it's basically going to find edges, and it's going to sort of put a shadow within your edge. So I've got three different shapes here because I want to show you what this does on each and every single one of them. The other thing you can do is, especially if you've got like maybe rust on your object, then you can put them specifically in the corner. You can adjust it and etc. and so forth. Right, so let's get cracking. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new material, and I'm going to call this find edges, because that's basically what it's doing. Now here's a quick lesson that we can learn while we're at this. I'm going to apply the same material to these other two materials as well, so it's already on my icosphere. Alright, how do I create an icosphere? Shift A, mesh, icosphere, and then I adjusted some stuff. So I'm going to select the cube, the monkey, the cube, shift, hold, and click on the monkey, and lastly I'm going to select my icosphere because that's my active object. And as you can see, these are the highlight colors are a dark orange, this one is a light orange, right? And with that said and done, I'm going to go Command L, or if you're on a PC, it is Control L, and I'm going to say link materials. Fantastic, there you go. So each object has whatever I apply here, it's going to apply across all of them. Right, let's go into render view, shall we? I am on my MacBook Pro, my 2013 MacBook Pro. I am not on my iMac that I've previously spoken about. So if things do begin lagging, sorry. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is with this material, okay, I am going to basically add, so there's three methods of doing this. All right, the first one, which I'm going to show you, is using an input called geometry. Now remember we've used previously before texture coordinate, which you should be pretty familiar with. I'm using one called geometry. Now in the geometry options here, the different mapping that you can use, there's this one called pointiness. Pretty cool, huh? Now let me show you what it basically does. So with that, wait, hang on. So if I take pointiness and I plug that into the base color, you can already see how the corners, yes, we're already, can I just quickly check here? What am I on? I'm on Eve. The one I was like, hey, that's not bad. Okay, so I don't have any shadow, but you can already see how we've got over here it's taken effect. All right, let me take it off just so I can show you. Okay, have a look over there for me while I reconnect it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put a bit more of a control on it, so you can actually see how the inner parts of the icosphere, and even on the monkey, there are parts that are darkening. Right, so let's improve that. I'm going to add in a Shift A, right, and I'm going to add in my converter, my color ramp. I usually use this node over here to sort of increase contrast and so on. I'm going to plug the color into base, the pointiness into the factor, and then I can increase the contrast just by pulling this side, and there you go. Now you see the effect like almost immediately. Okay, cool. I don't know if you can hear the fans on my Mac are starting to kick up. So you can see now, let me disconnect it. What do you think will happen if I add alpha? Absolutely nothing. Alright, color. So you can already see how my icosphere, how it's the indented parts have gone dark. On my mic here, it has done the same thing. You just won't see it too much. There you go. Okay, you can see how I brought those two together, and there you see the effect immediately. Quite a quick way of doing it. You can see how around the hard edges, the high angle. So basically what I've done is the angles, wherever there are angles within my mesh, that's where it's created those darker spots over there. Pretty cool, quite nice. I think you can understand how this can really help with creating a fake ambient occlusion effect, and at the same time how it can also, you can use that the placement as rust or mold or anything like that. And you can see the cube has got absolutely nothing, and that's just because there are no, there's an edge here, an edge, and then an edge down here. The edges aren't close to each other. If I look at this guy, I wonder if I need to, I mean, the effect is happening. I've got a bevel, by the way, on here, and I had a, yes, it's definitely a bevel, but you can see how there's a lot of edges going on. Let me try and put this into wireframe mode. There you go. You can see the wireframe, the extremely hard edges between. You don't see anything just because of the actual mesh. So it really works off the angles on your mesh and how close your vertices and that are together. Alright, so there's one of your first methods. Okay, alright, and then something else I'm going to add on here. Now you'll notice that this only works on basically on high poly figures, alright, where there's a lot of polygons close to each other. That is where you're going to get that shading over there. Something else that you can also try and do is, alright, I'm going to try and get this cube to affect here, right? And I'm going to do that by adding in this. I'm going to add in our very well known texture coordinate. I'm going to use bevel, I'm going to use texture coordinate, and I'm going to use another node which we've sort of worked with before.
It's all about humanity.
And that is called our math node. No, I'm lying. How can I lie like this? I'm going to add in something similar, which is called, it's under our vector, and it is called our vector math. Maybe it's under converter. You get the math node, and then you also get, there you go, you get this guy over here, which is called a vector math. I'm going to plug the bevel into one of the vectors, and then this by texture coordinate normal into the other vector. Now what we're going to use under our math node is basically our distance, right? Because that's what it's going to use. And then I'm going to plug that into my color ramp, and we're going to see what's going to happen here. Okay, there you go, pretty cool. Now I want to show you something cool here. So what it's done already, this is some cool stuff here. Looks like something out of Star Wars or something. I can make the adjustment. You can see with the monkey, it's only sort of done the top here. I can make adjustments to this just by playing around with these guys over here. So if I pull this back, maybe I need to pull this guy back a bit, and you can see there how it's affected just from using this vector node and this bevel node here, you can see how we get this texture effect over here. Monkey's not doing too well at all. Don't think he's happy with us, because I think maybe he feels a bit left out. And you can see how, so just playing around over here, you can see how my edges on the cube as well is is one color. I'm pretty sure if I make this like a blue, there you go. Now you get something cool like that. Okay, you guys with me? Awesome. Now I'm going to show you another method of doing this, and that is by using a node which maybe you've heard of, maybe you haven't heard of. It's called ambient occlusion. Boom, just like that. Alright, and I can plug the ambient occlusion into my color ramp, and take note that it's very important that I click on only local. And what basically only local does, let's get some effects here, pull these guys closer to each other. You can adjust this, you can play with it. Until it actually does something. Oh wait, and you can see how on the monkey, how it's affected specific areas where there's a lot of sort of hard edges. Okay, maybe I pull this side. Alright, and maybe I can pull this side more, and you can see how it affects it a bit more. There you go. Okay, you can see under the eyes there and in there. This is great, like I said, if you have like rust, or you have, I mean, for me it's a great way of almost faking a bit of an ambient occlusion. Okay, you can see on a cube it hasn't done anything, and you can see how it hasn't worked too much on there. Now what I can also do is take my I can bring my samples up and down here on the ambient occlusion. The nice thing is that you'll see between the distance, if I say 1.2, you can see how it's lessened how far out it's actually gone. So if I look at the mouth, there's a bit of white in the beginning there. 0.1, there's more. If I take this up to 1, the way it was, it completely covers it. So it's adjustable, and I think the more that you smear it across, I'm pretty sure your samples are definitely going to matter there. Okay, if I bring up this black more on my color ramp, you can see how the black areas get a lot more. It almost looks like a very, very dark shadow. Or perhaps if I could bring it a bit back, and it looks a bit more natural, softer looking. Alright, if you want to make that green, and maybe it's like some sort of like moss that's like growing. Okay, works. You can see how it's working better on the actual monkey, but yeah, block, not too much really going on here. Like I said, you can play around there and get what you want. What I've also noticed is that in terms of my color ramp, now let's see if this works. I think the harder the edge, the more you really got to bring this black node up here. And that's right, because now I can actually see it working on my icosphere. Not too much on my cube. In fact, I don't even see anything at all on my cube is happening here. What if I push this up to 2? No, it doesn't want to. Okay, oh, there you go. Well, that makes it completely black. That's if I do that. Okay, so maybe method is depending on what you're wanting to get. That is totally up to you. I'm showing you how it works. You can play around with it. Okay, so I think these are pretty cool, easy methods. So I've shown you basically two methods. Alright, the third one that I want to show, okay, now I've actually showed you three already. So the first one was using the pointless geometry output over here. The second one is to use what I'd used before, where I had the bevel and the geometry, this texture coordinates. And then the third one I just showed you using an ambient occlusion. For me, the ambient occlusion works really, really well on the monkey. Like I said, you just find the right settings. You just dial those settings quite nicely. And I mean, you can see how nice and soft it is. It's a bit more natural looking. And then I found with the icosphere, definitely the bevel. I did like the bevel, the second option. Alright, so that's basically that for this. Remember, we are using this is basically find edge. Alright, what we're doing in this series is we are actually we are looking at how you can talk and plug in stuff at the same time. It's actually not that easy. What was it again? Not texture coordinates. It is my geometry something. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's not working out. I'm gonna stop right there. So just by there you go, geometry, bevel, vector math. See how quickly I can actually do this, because I know. Okay, it wasn't my geometry, my bad. Input, texture coordinate. Just by plugging these few things in here, I can definitely get a nicer looking, you know, whatever effect you're looking for. You can get some cool, easy effects. But sorry, the whole idea of this, of what we're dealing with now, is using your object's geometry, their shape, to apply certain textures. Alright, so check us out in the next video. We're going to explore another method. Hope that has blessed you as much as well it's blessed me. Guys, in the next video, in the meantime, like this video because I know you liked it. I know that it's taught you some cool stuff, and please subscribe to our channel, because that would be supporting what we're doing here at Active TV. Also, we have an app that's coming out, or actually we have an app that is out already. If you want to check it out, activetvonline.co.za. we got more tutorials like this, and there's a whole lot of other stuff that we're doing there. We're expanding further than YouTube or any of these other platforms. So hey, go check that out. See you in the next video, guys. Cheers.
I grow, I rock, you roll, we steal the show.